What's up, guys? Welcome to this very first lecture of this YouTube channel. Today's lecture is going to be about strengthening your self-agency. We are going to talk about its definitions, what self-agency actually is, and what it actually means. And I'm going to take some references about a particular book where they are talking about self-agency very clearly. So it's one individual who talks about meditation, self-agency, strengthening your inner power, etc. Other than that, I will also giving you an example of self-agency and also giving you my opinion and my definition for overall better, more acute understanding. So you have two definitions, which makes your impact of understanding even greater, let's say, if we can put it in that way. And how can you actually strengthening your self-agency also? So stay tuned and listen carefully. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Self-agency, strengthening self-agency. How can you strengthening your self-agency? But before that, we have to talk about self-agency in general, what it is. So you might think that self-agency is probably something, it has probably something to do with the agency of your, of your insurance company. No, it hasn't. It has something to do with your brain, deeply in your conscious mind, or let's say in between your unconscious and conscious level. This is where, let's say, self-agency lies. But before we're going to talk about its definitions, I like to have some appreciations about the references that I'm going to take from a particular book, which is called The Magic Mind, from Dr. Jones R. Doty. Hopefully I spelled that correctly, and if I didn't, I apologize. So Dr. Jones R. Doty wrote this book, The Magic Mind, and he's clearly talking about the self-agency, and he's not only talking about self-agency, he's also talking a lot about meditation and inner strength power, which has something to do also with your agency of the brain. So let's talk about his own definition. So his own definition is that self-agency is the control of the outcome of a given situation through our own actions or our own will. The meaning of it is that depending on how empowered or how weak the self-agency is of a certain individual, the outcome that one person can create by his own way of feeling, let's say, can turn to be very positive or very negative. So overall, we can say that self-agency is the tool or the willing power tool of the brain. In the book, the author gives us a very interesting example about a research at the University of Turin, where they examined a patient with diagnosed anosognosia. So it comes from the Greek word, and so gnosis means disease and gnosis means knowledge. So that patient was very unaware or unnoticeable about her disease. And her disease was paralyzation, paralyzed from her left arm. And astonishingly, when they asked that patient if she could move her arm, turns out that she clearly couldn't move her arm, so her left arm in particular. But interestingly is that person, because she had anosognosia, she was very, let's say, confident, and she had this very strong belief that she actually could move her left arm, which clearly was not the case. So in conclusion, people who suffered from this particular disease have a very enforced self-agency in some way, and their intentions and their predictions are very acute in comparison to their physical, real acting interpretation. People who may suffer from a very weak self-agency may not have really good confidence about what they are doing, about how they act through this world, which is clearly a problem, not only in society, but also at their daily journey, let's say. So how can you improve or strengthening that particular self-agency? That is something that is very important to talk about. So in the book, the author suggests about meditation, for example. So meditation can be a great tool to strengthen your self-agency, because it can improve your inner strength in general. It can make you strong internally, which in consequence is what you interpret externally. What also can be done to strengthening your self-agency is, for example, writing down your strengths or even your weaknesses, and just read them out for a couple of minutes every day, and you will quite remember how strong you actually are. And instead of putting all the time boundaries to yourself into your head. So this can be something very helpful in the way that you will always remind yourself how strong you actually are. And yeah, that was strengthening your self-agency. Stay tuned for more, and may the fire be with you, and we will see us next time.